The first features of Apple Intelligence are finally here. iOS 18.1 has been released and it's jam-packed with some amazing new Apple Intelligence features we've been waiting for months. Actually, we hoped to see these in the first release of iOS 18 back in September, but unfortunately we had to wait a bit. Luckily, some of these awesome new Apple Intelligence features have arrived, and although this update already brings a lot of new Apple Intelligence features, we still don't have everything, and the plan for Apple is to gradually release new updates of Apple Intelligence in future updates of iOS 18. And before we start, I think it's also important to note that in the EU, where I am based, unfortunately we don't have any of these features, and this unfortunately has to do with the regulations here in the EU with the Digital Marketing Act. But without further ado, my name is Niels, also known as AppleDsign, and together let's have a closer look at all the new features coming to iOS 18.1. Let's start with everyone's favorite app, and that is the Photos app, and also my favorite new feature now coming to your iPhone, the Clean Up editing tool. So what this allows you to do is to remove distracting objects or people in the background of any of your photos. I tried it out for myself and I have to say this is absolutely amazing. It works really well, and it really recognizes the background to give you amazing results. And then also still in the Photos app, we now have the possibility to create memories. You can make any prompt, you can type out anything you'd like to see in your memories, and then Apple Intelligence will search through your photos and videos and make an amazing memory video for you to watch. It's absolutely mind-blowing how awesome these memories are. And lastly, I think a feature many of us also have been waiting for years in the Photos app is that you now have the possibility to search, 100 times better within the Photos app. Apple Intelligence now better understand what you mean when you search for specific elements in a photo, like the search function in Photos wasn't that good. I think this will save so much time for plenty of us. Alright, next up, number 2 is let's talk about Siri. So Siri has been introduced back in 2011, and now after 13 years we finally have a redesigned animation. If you know me personally, you know I'm a big fan of animations, especially the ones that Apple makes, and they absolutely nailed it with the new Siri glow animation in iOS 18.1. It's so fun to now evoke Siri with this glow on the sides. It's just so nice to see this glow every time you evoke Siri. Next, still within Siri, you now have the possibility to type out your prompt. So you don't need to talk with your voice anymore towards Siri. So let's say you're in a meeting or somewhere where you're not allowed to speak or you can't speak, then you can simply press the bottom bar and then you have the possibility to type in your prompt and just interact with Siri without using your voice. And lastly, Siri is so much smarter than before. Not only does she understand the context, so if you're talking about the weather in Los Angeles and then you want to talk about something else related to Los Angeles or that previous prompt, Siri will understand that. And what's really nice as well, that if you stutter or you take a break or you want to correct anything when you ask Siri something, she will recognize that as well, which is really nice. And lastly, Siri knows so much more about Apple's hardware and software itself. So if you have any questions related to your iPhone's battery or your Mac's performance, you can ask Siri, and she now has extensive knowledge of all these things. Number 3 is writing tools, and I believe this is going to be a game changer for so many of us. It's going to save so many of us so much time, and writing tools basically allows you to proofread or maybe rephrase and summarize text across so many apps. So think, for example, about Messages or the Mail app or within Notes. And as I mentioned, there are 3 main things that the writing tools allows you to do. And the first one is to summarize. So summarize any text, summarize an email. Number 2 is to proofread your text or any text, which allows to correct any grammar errors or suggest improvements to your text. And lastly is the rewrite or rephrase tool, which allows you to make different versions of your text. Maybe you want the text to be more formal, or maybe you want it to be more funny and more entertaining, then you have the possibility for Apple Intelligence to rewrite or rephrase your text in that specific tone of voice. Number 4 is that the Mail app now got a redesign, and one of the best new features in here is that you see priority messages on top, so you know exactly when you open the Mail app which emails need priorities, which emails you have to reply to the quickest, such as same-day dinner reservation or your boarding pass for any flights. Also now, if you look at an email, you see a summary of what's been mentioned in that email instead of just the first phrases or sentences that we used to see for years now. A really welcoming addition. And as mentioned previously, the writing tools are available in the Mail app, which allows you to see a summary of an email. Maybe you have a long email and you just want a summary of everything that's being mentioned, so that's possible in the Mail app as well. And there's an amazing time-saving smart reply feature, which exactly does what it says. It makes a smart reply which covers all the main questions that are mentioned in an email, and you make an automatic smart reply, saving you tons of time. Next up is notification summary. So let's say you get multiple notifications from messages or the Mail app. Well, now these are stacked together, and Apple Intelligence makes an amazing summary, so you immediately know what's going on with all these different notifications that you got. And what's really cool is that Apple is going to open this feature up for third-party apps as well. So let's say you use WhatsApp, then the notification summarize feature will be available for your WhatsApp messages as well. I think a really awesome addition here for people in the EU. Next up is transcription summaries. And transcription summaries allows you what it says to make summaries of a voice transcript. So this is available in the Notes app, but also when you record a phone call, which is also available. And then you get a full summary of the conversation, of everything that's being mentioned. So right now, I only think this is available in the Notes app and when you record a phone call, but yeah, summaries of your transcripts, another time saver. And lastly, new in iOS 18.1 as well is NFC Access for third-party apps. And basically this means that third-party developers have access to the NFC on the iPhone itself, which allows them to share a contactless experience. For example, unlocking your home, hotel, event tickets, and in-store payments, and also government IDs, and that's something that will be available later on. So yeah guys, that's everything you need to know about all the new features available in iOS 18.1. This is a jam-packed update, and finally we get the first glimpses of Apple Intelligence. Yeah, I'm just curious to know what's your favorite new Apple Intelligence feature in iOS 18.1. Share it with us in the comments. Hit the bell icon, subscribe, and like this video. I would really appreciate that, and see you in the next one. Peace.